Thank you very much. You must be wondering, since everyone here is either director or head of departments, what is this Alan guy doing here? Well, I'm here to represent not only Shenzhen Viewat Technology, but also our other international friends, international participant here at +Forum. Also, diversity or globalization, since new economy, we are moving to a global business. Not only us, but also everyone. So now, let's talk about payment services provider, or PSP. PSP, what is it? Here's the definition. A payment service provider, also known as payment processor, as a third party, operate between banks and consumers to help achieve better efficiency for electronic transactions. Being in partnership with acquiring banks, PSPs are also able to process transactions through credit and debit cards. Other than these functionalities, some PSPs also offer e-wallet payment method. And here are some examples that I'm sure all of you have seen a million times. We're going to start by asking two questions. How does payment service provider work, and how much will it develop in the future? Initially, most payment systems consist of issuers and acquirers. With the rapid development of online businesses and electronic payment, the amount of electronic transactions kept increasing to a point where it can no longer be satisfied solely by the services provided by bank. There are simply too many transactions to be handled efficiently, and many of these transactions are smaller transactions. In 2013, 26 billion electronic transactions took place in China, and 24 billion of them were online transactions, as you can see in the blue bar on the left, which compared to 2012, the amount was increased by 28%. At the same time, even though the amount of mobile transaction is still insignificant compared to online banking, its growth of over 200% compared to last year must not be ignored. A demand for services to process large amount of small transactions was created. So, new providers emerged to participate in payment service industries. Here's the cute little animation I made. I hope you like it. And how much will payment service providers evolve in the future? In future, we'll possibly see a wider use of electronic cash on a global scale and wider integration of payment application on mobile platforms. In addition to providing acquiring services, some third-party companies introduce electronic cash like Alipay and WeChat Wallet. In the case of Alipay, funds are added to the account beforehand. If you need to make a transaction, the money is transferred from your Alipay account straight to the merchant's account. This transaction is no longer needed to be verified by bank and thus removed some of the unnecessary processing costs. Because of how e-wallet applications work outside banks, with the increase of user base, even though the amount of money each transaction is little, the gross amount of cash flow generated was increased significantly, which I'll show you the example later. But that also means every second Alipay or WeChat have billions of liquidable assets under their sleeves. Last year, a total of 175 billion electronic transactions were processed by banks. The amount covered by mobile banking increased also significantly to more than 1/3 of all electronic transactions. However, outside of banking activities, non-bank third-party payment institutions processed over 530 billion transactions, which you can see by looking at the orange bar on this chart. The bar on the right exceed bank-related transactions by a huge margin. However, by looking at the purple bar, which is, I'm sorry for the text, is a little bit small. The purple bar means the money covered by the transactions for non-banking activities and also bank-related activities. And by looking at the purple bar on the right, we can see that despite the number of transactions that took place, the amount of money processed by non-bank payment services was not even close to the amount processed by banks. As we have mentioned before, this is exactly one of the major purposes of payment service providers, that is, to process large quantity of smaller transactions. And now if we go back and look at the statistics for bank transactions in the past few years, it is not hard at all to see that mobile platform had become much more relevant. From less than a tenth of the amount compared to online banking in 2013 to surpassing it in 2018, mobile payment became a much more likely way of how we're paying for our products. And thanks to the rapid growth of mobile technology and accessibility, payment processors also expanded its e-wallet services to face-to-face cashless payment. That means customers can purchase goods and services from small businesses without having to reach for their wallet. From buying a drink on the vending machine to paying for parking or purchasing gas, it's all done with a QR code and a smartphone, as you can see on this picture. Outside of regular purchases, some providers also introduce additional utilities like medical or social security, flight booking, and credit evaluation. However, this is, as far as I know, only available in China, since they have a much deeper integration between the companies and the government. Since it's such an ease to make a transaction, now with the help from the payment service applications, security must be a major concern for consumers, which brings us to the next topic, that is risk management and fraud protection. For online business and customers, having a payment processors means entrusting them with bank account information and cash transactions. Most of the PSPs and online business create their own private policies about how customers' information is used and stored. Some payment processors also offer fraud prevention for additional protection. If there is a purchase that seems out of ordinary, businesses or customers will be warned and additional verification will be required. Now, I don't think I will bore you with the statistics provided by WeChat, but from the statistics, we can kind of know that for now, PSP e-cash service is quite secured. And despite for the 8,451 cases of property losses, most of these losses are already covered by WeChat. And now another functionality provided by modern payment processors is cross-currency transaction. In the age of globalization, the demand for cross-currency transaction is massive. Many payment services made this possible thanks to them. And in my travel experiences in the past few years, I was very pleasantly surprised to see that many stores in Japan and Korea accept Chinese yuan in the form of Alipay transaction. This was a great convenience because I'm a lazy person and I'm too lazy to reach for my wallet. Now, in summary, payment service providers are companies that assist customers and businesses in areas from as simple as processing online transactions to e-wallet and online fund transfer. Payment processors operate between banks and customers, providing extra utilities and convenience for consumers and merchants. And at last, here's a little bit about us. We are Shenzhen Viewat Technology Corporation, as we have been introduced in the beginning. Thank you. We have many products, and some of our products are related to what I've been talking about, the payment service providers. But other than that, we also work with the car brand network like MasterCard and UnionPay, and we created these point-of-sale terminal systems. If you're interested in our products, we more than welcome you to booth 14 to check out our products.